Tying the transformer neutral to the primary neutral is wrong for several reasons. Firstly, consider circuit grounding. In a transformer, the primary and secondary are electrically isolated. When the primary neutral is tied to the transformer neutral, it creates a direct path for current to flow from the transformer to the primary circuit's neutral. This can compromise the integrity of the circuit grounding system and create a safety hazard. Secondly, understand protective relay misoperation. Many protective relays rely on the isolation of the primary and secondary neutrals to detect ground faults. If the primary neutral is tied to the transformer neutral, these relays may malfunction, leading to false tripping or missed faults. Thirdly, observe transformer overheating. When the primary neutral is tied to the transformer neutral, unbalanced loads on the secondary can cause a voltage imbalance on the primary. This can result in excessive current flowing through the transformer's neutral winding, leading to overheating and potential damage. Fourthly, be aware of harmonic distortion. Tying the primary neutral to the transformer neutral can introduce harmonic currents into the primary circuit. These harmonics can interfere with other equipment and cause problems with digital controls and sensitive electronics. Fifthly, recognize incorrect neutral reference. The transformer's neutral winding is not designed to serve as a neutral reference point for the primary circuit. When the primary neutral is tied to the transformer neutral, it establishes an incorrect neutral reference, which can lead to incorrect voltage measurements and control issues. Sixthly, note code violations. In many electrical codes, it is prohibited to connect the primary neutral to the transformer neutral. Doing so can result in code violations and potential liabilities. For proper backfeeding of transformers, the primary neutral should not be connected to the transformer neutral. The transformer should be isolated from the primary circuit's grounding system by using an isolation transformer or by grounding the transformer separately. Let's delve deeper into each of these points to provide a more comprehensive understanding. Regarding circuit grounding, the purpose of a grounding system is to provide a low impedance path for fault currents to return to the source, allowing overcurrent protection devices like circuit breakers or fuses to quickly interrupt the circuit. By tying the primary and secondary neutrals together, you are essentially bypassing this carefully designed system. A ground fault on the secondary side could then potentially energize the primary neutral, creating a shock hazard. Moreover, the impedance of the combined neutral path may be higher than the intended ground path, hindering the clearing of the fault and increasing the risk of equipment damage or fire. Consider a scenario where a fault occurs on the secondary side of the transformer. If the primary and secondary neutrals are tied together, the fault current will split between the intended ground path and the primary neutral. This division of current can reduce the current flowing through the intended ground path, potentially preventing the overcurrent protection device from tripping in a timely manner. Now let's examine protective relay misoperation in more detail. Protective relays are sophisticated devices designed to detect various fault conditions, including ground faults. They often rely on measuring the current flowing in the neutral conductor to detect imbalances that indicate a fault. By tying the primary and secondary neutrals together, you are effectively eliminating the isolation that these relays depend on. A ground fault on the secondary side could then be misinterpreted by the relay as a fault on the primary side, or vice versa, leading to incorrect tripping decisions. For example, a ground fault on the secondary side might cause the primary relay to trip, unnecessarily shutting down the primary circuit. This can disrupt operations and cause significant downtime. In the case of transformer overheating, unbalanced loads on the secondary side can create circulating currents in the transformer windings. These circulating currents generate heat, which can damage the transformer insulation and reduce its lifespan. By tying the primary and secondary neutrals together, you are providing a path for these circulating currents to flow into the primary circuit, potentially exacerbating the overheating problem. Furthermore, a voltage imbalance on the primary side can also stress the transformer insulation and contribute to overheating. This is because the voltage across each winding is no longer equal, leading to localized hotspots within the transformer. Understanding harmonic distortion is also crucial. Harmonic currents are multiples of the fundamental frequency of the power system, which is typically 60 Hz. These harmonics can be generated by nonlinear loads such as electronic devices and variable frequency drives. By tying the primary and secondary neutrals together, you are creating a pathway for these harmonic currents to flow into the primary circuit, where they can interfere with other equipment. Harmonic currents can cause a variety of problems, including overheating of transformers and conductors, malfunction of sensitive electronic equipment, and increased losses in the power system. They can also distort the voltage waveform, leading to voltage sags and swells that can damage equipment. The incorrect neutral reference can also lead to issues. The neutral point in a transformer is typically established by a specific winding configuration, such as a Y connection. This neutral point provides a stable reference for the voltage on the secondary side. By tying the primary and secondary neutrals together, you are essentially overriding this carefully designed neutral reference. This can lead to voltage imbalances on the secondary side, which can damage sensitive equipment and cause malfunctions. Furthermore, an incorrect neutral reference can make it difficult to accurately measure voltages and currents in the circuit, hindering troubleshooting and maintenance efforts. Finally, it is important to be aware of code violations. Electrical codes are designed to ensure the safety of electrical installations and to protect people and property from electrical hazards. Connecting the primary and secondary neutrals of a transformer can violate these codes, potentially leading to fines and other penalties. In addition to the direct safety hazards, code violations can also increase liability in the event of an accident. If someone is injured or property is damaged as a result of a code violation, the person or company responsible for the violation may be held liable for the damages. To ensure proper backfeeding of transformers, it is essential to isolate the primary and secondary neutrals. This can be achieved by using an isolation transformer or by grounding the transformer separately. An isolation transformer is a transformer that has separate primary and secondary windings with no direct electrical connection between them. This provides a complete isolation between the primary and secondary circuits, preventing any current from flowing between them. Alternatively, the transformer can be grounded separately by connecting the transformer's neutral point to a dedicated ground electrode. This provides a low impedance path for fault currents to return to the source, without compromising the integrity of the primary circuit's grounding system. When grounding the transformer separately, it is important to follow the requirements of the electrical code regarding the size and type of grounding conductor and the installation of the ground electrode. In summary, tying the primary neutral to the transformer neutral when backfeeding can create a number of safety hazards and operational problems. By understanding these risks and following the proper installation procedures, you can ensure the safe and reliable operation of your electrical system. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical engineer if you have any questions or concerns about backfeeding transformers. Furthermore, remember that local electrical codes and regulations may vary, so it is important to be familiar with the specific requirements in your area. Ignoring these requirements can lead to serious consequences, including fines, penalties, and even legal action. The principles of electrical safety are paramount in any electrical installation. A thorough understanding of grounding, bonding, and overcurrent protection is essential for preventing electrical shocks, fires, and equipment damage. Never compromise on safety in order to save time or money. A properly installed and maintained electrical system will provide years of reliable service, while a poorly installed system can be a constant source of problems and potential hazards. In addition to the technical aspects of backfeeding transformers, it is also important to consider the legal and ethical implications. As a licensed electrician, you have a responsibility to protect the safety of your clients and the public. This responsibility includes ensuring that all electrical installations are performed in accordance with the electrical code and industry best practices. If you are asked to perform an electrical installation that you believe is unsafe or violates the code, you have a duty to refuse. It is always better to err on the side of caution and to prioritize safety over expediency. Remember, Your reputation as an electrician is built on trust and integrity. By upholding the highest standards of professionalism and ethics, you can earn the respect of your clients and colleagues and build a successful career. It is also important to stay up to date on the latest developments in electrical technology and the electrical code. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new products and technologies being introduced all the time. By continuing your education and professional development, you can ensure that you have the knowledge and skills necessary to provide your clients with the best possible service. Consider attending industry conferences, taking online courses, and reading trade publications to stay informed about the latest trends and best practices. Furthermore, never hesitate to ask for help or guidance from experienced electricians or engineers. There is no shame in admitting that you don't know something. In fact, seeking out the advice of others is a sign of professionalism and a commitment to continuous improvement. By working together and sharing our knowledge and experience, we can all contribute to making the electrical industry safer and more reliable. Therefore, always prioritize safety, adhere to electrical codes, and continue to learn.